Every man enters the world of love with open hands and an open heart. You start believing that affection is pure, that loyalty is natural, that if you give love you'll receive it back in equal measure. So you give, you invest, you trust. Because in your innocence you think sincerity is enough. But then life teaches you a brutal lesson, not with words but with experience. Maybe she walked away without warning. Maybe she betrayed you with someone else. Maybe her passion faded until you were left chasing shadows of the woman you thought you knew. Whatever the story, the ending feels the same. The man you once were is gone. The hopeful, wide-eyed version of you dies. And in his place, something new begins to form. From naivety to precision. When heartbreak slices deep, it doesn't just hurt, it transforms. The man who once played the game blindfolded now moves like a strategist. Every step measured. Every choice deliberate. You no longer hand out trust like candy. You no longer mistake words for proof. Anyone can whisper, "I love you." Few can back it up when life gets heavy. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing validation. You stand, you wait, and you let the truth of people reveal itself. That shift alone changes everything. The aura of experienced women notice this immediately. It's not something you brag about. It's something you radiate. It's in your patience. In the way you let silences breathe. In the way you don't fold under pressure. Where other men scramble when she pulls away, you stay still. Where other men shower her with constant praise, you give just enough to show interest, and then you retreat. Your calm is unnerving. Your restraint is magnetic. She can't bend you with tears. She can't manipulate you with jealousy. She can't control you with threats of leaving. Because you've already lived through the worst. You've felt the sting of loss and survived it. And once a man has survived the fire, he doesn't fear the flame. The weapon of patience, one of the deadliest skills pain teaches you, is patience. Before you rushed to secure her attention. You rushed to reassure her. You rushed to prove you were good enough. Now, you wait. You watch. You let time unmask her. You don't panic if she grows distant. You don't chase if she goes silent. Instead you observe, does she come back on her own? Does her loyalty remain steady when tested? This unsettles women because they're used to men who fear silence, men who trip over themselves to fix every flicker of distance. But you sit back, unbothered. And when you finally move, your decision is sharp, final, and impossible to reverse. Value becomes scarcity. Another revelation: your energy is gold. Your attention is a scarce resource. You no longer hand it out freely. You no longer drown women in texts, compliments, or availability. You give selectively. You invest wisely. And that scarcity makes every moment with you more valuable. She leans in harder. She starts chasing. She begins to wonder, why am I not consuming his thoughts the way I do with other men? Scarcity creates desire. And you embody scarcity without even trying. The fortress of boundaries, commitment to you, is no longer something to give away. It is a fortress, guarded, selective, earned. You enforce boundaries like a king protecting his castle. If she disrespects you, you don't explain. You don't fight. You don't beg. You simply withdraw. And because most men collapse at the thought of losing her, your indifference hits harder than anger ever could. She will remember the man who loved her deeply, and still walked away without hesitation. Emotional immunity: once you've been betrayed, manipulated, ghosted, or blindsided, emotional games lose their power. The silent treatment: you mirror it calmly. The jealousy ploys: you don't bite. The threats of leaving: you tell her to do what's best for her. And that response, that calm, unshaken presence, strips away her leverage. Because the moment a man stops fearing abandonment, he becomes untouchable. Clarity over chemistry: before passion blinded you. You confused chemistry with compatibility. Now you measure more than sparks. You study her patterns. You test her loyalty. You notice how she behaves when no spotlight is on her. Does she honor her word when it's inconvenient? Does her interest survive boredom? Does her affection withstand temptation? If not, you walk. No second chances. No debate. And because you demand more than beauty, women either rise to the challenge or vanish. Either way, you win. Rebuilding from within. The deepest shift is this: your life stops orbiting around her. Your focus turns inward, on your body, your money, your craft, your purpose. Because you've learned the ultimate truth: attraction is not something you beg for. It is the natural byproduct of becoming powerful. The man you are becoming is not desperate to be chosen. He does the choosing. And when she realizes that her role is to prove she's worthy of your commitment, the entire dynamic flips. The quiet danger: what emerges from heartbreak is not a broken man. It is a sharper man, a calmer man, a man with silence that speaks louder than words, a man whose self-control is felt the moment he walks into a room, a man who can love deeply, but never at the cost of himself. Women can't decide whether such a man is the safest or most dangerous man they've ever met. And that paradox is exactly what keeps them hooked. Because when you embody both mystery and stability, when you can give everything and take it away in the same breath, when your love feels priceless because it is rare, you stop being another option. You become the standard.